Hey guys, my name's Cam, and today I'm going to show you how I made my Shoji burl lamp collection. It's 24 handmade pieces that I created for an art show. I start off with this rare species of wood from Central America called Chechen. Some people call it black poisonwood. And this is the burl from the tree. So I start off with something like this. And this is what one of the finished pieces look like. Each one's unique in their own way, so if you stick around, I'll show you the process of how I did every one start to finish. So, appreciate you being here, and I hope you enjoy watching. Thank you. The idea for this project started when I first came across these burls. I didn't exactly know what I was going to do with them when I first got them, but I thought they were interesting enough where it would make for a good project. So I brought them home and I opened up the bark. To be honest, I was kind of surprised when I realized this is what they look like underneath the bark. So I brought it over to the spindle sander and removed the next layer. I thought the bases of these lamps should have form but to be formless, and that the shape felt natural to the soul of the wood. I had to be careful about not taking too much off. There's always a point of no return. You can always take off more, but you can't bring it back. So sometimes I would have to step away for some time and come back to it with fresh eyes and make sure that I wasn't exaggerating with the sanding. This part of the process took me several months to do. Now I take it through the drum sander and flatten out the tops. Now I'm taking it over to the drill press, where I'm creating a hole for the threaded rod. This will allow me to wire up the cord through the bottom up to the light bulb. Once I drill the hole through the top, I go just far enough where I can see a little hole in the bottom. So I can flip it over, and I have to make a bigger circle for the washer and the nut to fasten the threaded rod in later on. Yeah, this part was a little bit sketchy, just because when you flip them over, there's not much surface area, and there's no way to really clamp these bases down because they're such irregular shapes. So my dad is here helping me, and we're just holding it by hand. It worked out well. We set off the smoke alarm once. It doesn't look safe, but it really wasn't that safe to be doing this. Now I'm taking this big slab of Padauk and I'm running it through the joiner to give myself a flat edge. I'm making blocks for the stems in between the lampshade and the base, and then the rest of the wood I'll use for the frames for the lampshades. Now I'm at the chop saw and I'm cutting them into 2-inch blocks. This is just the basic shape. I'm eventually going to refine it down to something more elegant. Now we're at the drill press and we're making the insert for the threaded rod. It helps to have these wood blocks on the side for safety and for consistency. You don't want the block moving around anywhere, so this setup kind of helps a lot. Now I'm bringing the stems down to more of a shape that is like the trunk of a tree. Okay, now I'm moving on to the lampshades. I have to make 18 of these rectangular ones, so I created a few templates to help keep things consistent and square throughout this process. Fits nicely. Once I glued up the rectangles, I took them over to the drum sander to clean it up and smooth it out. After I finish this part of the process, now it's time to create them into the actual shape of the lampshade. Once again, I created more templates to help with this part of the process. Once the glue is done drying, I took them to the belt sander to clean them up and smooth them out again. Okay, things are starting to look pretty good here. I got a lot of the lampshades made, and I have the threaded rods and some of the burls, and you can see how the stems look like on top of the bases. I have 6 bigger burls, and the rectangular lampshade didn't quite fit for them, so I'm doing a oval design for the bigger ones. I drew up a couple design sketches in AutoCAD and made a few mock-ups, and now I printed out the one I settled on and bringing it over to the bandsaw to cut it out into a rough shape. After the rough cut, I bring it over to the disc sander and clean up the edges. Not bad. Now I gotta cut out the inside, so I drilled a hole and I'm taking the jigsaw and rough cutting out the center. This is what it looks like after the rough cut. Now I'll take it over to the spindle sander and clean it up and smooth it out. Now I'm making a little canal that I can chisel out, and it'll allow the cord to come out through the bottom and have the base stay flat on the surface. Yeah, just like that. And wire it up. And we got these nice dimmers. The dimmers are nice because you can adjust the mood. Low lighting and super nice. I honestly keep these on all day. Everything's looking good. About 2 more days until the art show, and just getting ready for the final step of finishing it. This is one of the most satisfying parts, and one of my favorite parts is putting on the Rubio monocoat, and it's the first time you really get to see the colors come to life and what it's really going to look like as a final piece.
you.